So, the early access to Black Ops 6 beta has ended, and tomorrow a lot of you will be playing open beta for the first time. This week, you've already seen a ton of uploads of everyone giving their opinion on the Black Ops beta, and honestly, most of us have and will say the exact same thing. So let's keep it simple. Is the Black Ops 6 beta any good? Kinda, but not really. It has promise, yes, but obviously it also has issues, and those issues are exacerbated by the outdated servers, the outdated code, and an engine that could use a tune-up. I don't want this to sound like I'm about to start shitting on Call of Duty. This will most likely be a positive video for the most part, as it goes on. But I am kind of going to be just mentioning negative things and positive things kind of entwined with each other. So for starters, I do want to talk about the time to kill. For me, this is a very important thing, as I find short time to kills more satisfying and more based on skill when it comes to getting results. While long time to kills are more, casual, easier and allow for more randomness and inconsistencies in gunfights, which is by design. I've watched, developer diary videos and dev interviews where they talk about, why certain things are in their games. And one of the things mentioned by an FPS developer was that long TTKs give, the less mechanically skilled gamer a chance to win gunfights against those who are more skilled. This is also why things like flinch exist, why things like lag comp exist, mechanics in the design that compensate for, the player. So speaking of TTK, I feel like the TTK in the beta was too long, but I watched some creators with more connections than I have none, talk about it and say that the game is actually designed to have a short TTK, but the reason TTK feels long is because of desyncing and, what they call phantom bullets. Hearing that made me rethink my position on the game's time to kill. Yes, it does feel long, but it's because of, not so great servers and desync more so than actual design of a long TTK. I have solid internet, so it's not an internet issue. I'm a streamer after all. You have to be a streamer with bad internet. So it's not my connection, it's just the game servers and netcode. We've all benefited from this desyncing, and we've all, been punished for the desyncing. I've gotten kills I shouldn't have gotten. Kills I know the person on the end is likely frustrating and annoyed because they probably put, a whole magazine into my character just for me to turn around and shoot them with 4 bullets and kill them. Or they were running into each other, and on my screen, I only shot like three times at their kneecap, and on their screen, they were just shooting at my head, and I got the kill. It happens. We've all benefited from it. We've all been punished for it. It happened to me. Where I've shot people, with a full magazine, and they didn't go down, and they turn around and shoot me my thigh twice, and I get dropped. It happens, and it is annoying. It makes for very annoying gameplay and frustrating gameplay at that. But again, it seems like it's more of a desyncing thing, according to what I'm hearing, more so than the game having a long TTK. Because again, what was being reported is the game TTK is actually way shorter than it feels in game. I don't want to spend too much time harping on TTK because it's not the deciding factor in me playing the full game, which I will. The next thing is the maps. I personally don't dislike any map other than Scud, but I only dislike Scud because of how strong the disposition is and how this position can be with how this map is designed. It's a fairly open map for the most part, especially when it comes to the left side of the map depending on respawn at, as well as just the overall middle of the map. There's like an underground area towards one side of the map that's like, you really won't really see someone from the dish. But for the most part, this position has a very good overlook of the map, and it doesn't really have much risk when it comes to holding up that position. I think on the Sky Hotel map, I think it's called Skyline. I don't really remember. It's mostly just an okay map, but could use another spot of traversal or travel. On the side where the pool is. It's kind of just 2 Overwatch points looking over the pool and across from each other. So it can be like a strong point for snipers. It'd be nice if there was like a something to the side of that pool that allows for like another way to get around the map. A way that could be another good position to hold, to watch that pool, or to counter someone who's using those Overwatch points to snipe. Derelict is another just okay map, though it does look a little ashy, and it's very easy for players to blend in. I do tend to see more people speak poorly with this particular map than the others, but again, I just find it okay. Like, I don't really hate it, again, other than it looking a little ashy and being very easy for people to blend in. I don't see Derelict as like this awful map. I think it flows decently. Like, all these maps are basic 3-lane map designs. I think there can be some like annoying engagements if you're someone who is using short range and someone's using long range. It can make for short engagement. If you're playing something like HVT, you could be a little annoyed if your team is more aggressive and the other team is more passive. This map does tend to be pretty easy to kind of just sit back with in HVT kill order mode. So that could be an irritation. Gala is aesthetically a good looking map, but the way the spawns work in this game and how easy sniping is, it can be a pretty broken map. I haven't played Pit, so I don't really have any comment on Pit. Since I mentioned sniping, we can jump right into talking about the weapons and the gunplay. Sniping in Call of Duty has always been easy in comparison to other shooters, at least, or in general in comparison to other games. The skill ceiling for sniping Call of Duty is pretty much the floor. Primarily because most Call of Duty maps aren't big enough for range to affect performance, and the way damage works with sniping, you can graze someone's shoelace and it'll count as one-shot kill. Whereas in most games, sniping is only one-shot kill on headshots. Now, it's important to mention that I'm strictly talking about the regular Call of Duty multiplayer, not Warzone, so don't tell me about like how long it takes to do things in Warzone. I'm talking about just basic Call of Duty multiplayer, and for as long as I play Call of Duty since Modern Warfare original, it's always been like a one-shot kill anywhere that including headshots, where it should be one shot, and it's the only spot where it's one shot. Not gonna get too much of a rant about things like that. Personally, as much as I like sniping in other games, I don't find sniping Call of Duty fun or satisfying. With how easy it is, it's hard to enjoy it. Sorry, I'm weird. I like sniping more when only a headshot is one shot and when I have to factor in distance, bullet drop, etc. It makes it more satisfying and more rewarding. It makes counter sniping feel even better because there's a risk to that. If you miss your shot, now that sniper has a chance to take you out. I don't feel like this game, nor any Call of Duty for that matter, except Warzone, sniping a Warzone does feel a bit satisfying. Not as satisfying as other games, but it still feels satisfying. But I don't feel that satisfaction, that joy in the regular Call of Duty game modes when it comes to sniping. As for the other weapons, the most common one you will hear about is the Jackal PDW, which by the looks of it is just an AK-74U, a weapon that has had a history of being pretty good and popular in past COD games. It's no different here. It's very strong. Mostly it's more overused than overpowered, I'd say, and part of that can be fixed with minor tuning like range rebalancing and some small damage tuning. Most of the weapons feel usable though, and I think that's a good thing. It's very good when most guns feel useful. I use a variety of different guns, and they all feel like they can get the job done. As for movement, iMovie being the new toy, the new gimmick, it's fine. It's not necessary. There isn't enough punishment for its uses though. There should be a risk to the movement itself. I know it might sound a little weird, but if you're jumping and diving around, there should be like an aiming risk to doing that. It should be harder for you to like land your shots, harder for you to ADS, and harder for you to basically just get kills when you're just doing all that jumping around compared to someone who's not. But generally, I feel like it's mostly a gimmick more than anything else. It's okay. It's fun. It makes the game feel quicker. I've seen people say the game feels slow. I don't feel like this game feels slow. It could just be my usage of sprinting, my usage of unmoving, and also just people around me who are using it. The game doesn't feel very slow. The only time this game slows down, in my opinion, is when people are, doing the obvious Call of Duty thing, aka camping. That's when the game feels slow because it just makes the game feel longer when you're playing hide and go seek. As for matchmaking, I don't know. It feels like normal Call of Duty matchmaking. I'm not someone who cares about SPMM. I play whoever's in front of me. If they suck, they suck. If they're good, then they're good. I've made videos in the past stating that though I understand why people dislike SPM, I personally don't hate it or dislike it. I'm just playing a video game. Competitive me also faces the best players I can face, but if there are people on the other team who play like bots, fine. That's just how it's going to be. I'm going to play against bots. It's just I don't really care. Like if I'm having fun, I'm having fun. And as someone who plays games like Rainbow Six Siege and Valorant, I kind of want a more competitive game, so I'm okay with it. But that's just me personally. The lobbies are varied in my experience. Some lobbies I face people who definitely master down the movement and are definitely better at the game than most, and the games were pretty sweaty, but still fun, with the exception being those moments where the TK and a desync are doing the thing that they do, and that can be frustrating. I played solo for some hours, and I played a duo for some other hours. I've seen some say solo lobbies are way more sweaty, but I don't really think so. I think that the thought is mostly because you don't have an extra person or two to rely on, so you have to try harder yourself, and there's a higher chance your teammates aren't as good, so it feels like it's a sweatier lobby because the other team probably has a 4-stack or 5-stack or 6-stack, and their arm probably just communicating and trying their damnedest while you don't have that, so it feels sweatier. I think the biggest issue that exists via SBMM is with how it works in general. Like, it will lead to you being put into games where your connection to the server isn't great because, you know, hey, we can't find anybody who's your skill level on the region that you're in, so we're going to throw you on to another region. Now you have high ping or lag because they couldn't find anybody in your skill rating. So that's the issue that SBM does you know, put in front of us when it comes to my opinion on disliking it. But I don't really hate it for the whole sweaty thing. It's more of like a, hey, I want my connection to be the priority in matchmaking, not my skill, because I want to be able to actually play the game without lag or without desync or without high ping. So I haven't really talked about game modes all that much, and I do want to like just quickly get into talk about the game modes. A lot of them are just the generic basic TDM, you know, domination and whatnot. You know, there's just like kill confirm, and the one that I want to talk about the most though is kill order. I hate kill order, and part of why I hate it is because the game doesn't do enough to inform you that you are the HVT, the VIP. My comparison to my live streams is to Star Wars Battlefront's Hero vs. Villain. Hero vs. Villain, you become a VIP, but the way the game tells you the VIP is with an icon in the top of your screen that shows a timer. It's letting you know that, hey, you have 10 seconds before you become the VIP. In the kill order for Call of Duty Black Ops 6, you don't really have that. There's like a little bit of a text under your map, but you're not looking at that. You're playing the game. If you're running around enjoying yourself, popping off, and then out of nowhere you die, and it's like, oh, I was a VIP. That's how they knew I was right there, because the VIP appears on the map. The VIP has an icon that follows that shows up on your screen, so you can see what VIP is at all times. But you don't know that you're VIP because you're not looking at that small text under the map. This game needs to have an update for the full release, where they actually put a timer on your screen that counts down to you becoming the VIP. Not only that, it needs to be just way more obvious. Yes, there's also like an audio thing, but a lot of people play Call of Duty with their voice audio for the maps in the game lower, so they can actually hear footsteps, even though this game's footsteps aren't very great. So that's like my only beef when it comes to the game modes. This the HVT game mode kill order needs to do a better job at informing you that you're about to become the kill order, but you're about to become the VIP, more so than, you know, what it does now, which is just show a little text, and you might hear, if the game isn't too loud when it comes to like in gunfights, you might hear the announcer say you're the new VIP. The last thing I want to talk about as a negative is sound. Footstep audio is basically non-existent, and I hate that. Most of the game's audio is fairly solid, but for whatever reason, COD developers really want footsteps to just not be a thing. Is it fear? Like, are they afraid that if people can hear footsteps, people will camp more? It's Call of Duty. Its nickname is Camp of Duty. People are going to camp no matter what in this game franchise. That's just how gamers play. A lot of gamers are afraid to move. A lot of gamers, you know, they're not good enough to get kills by running around the map, so they need to sit still to get kills and to not die a lot. That's just how it works. So it's not, I don't like, are there some people who probably like, oh, if my footsteps are loud, I'm going to stop moving? Sure, that's just reality, you know. That's why you have perks in the game that dampen footstep. Like, you have, you know, I forgot what it's called. Was it Dead Silence, where you like you put it on and people can't hear footsteps, just like how there's ghosts so people can't see you on radar. So you, instead of just trying to remove footstep audio from the game entirely, just have a perk that, you know, makes it harder for people to hear footsteps. I know there's like the field upgrade that can boost, air quotes, the footstep audio, but I've used it and it barely does anything. Like, you can hear a little bit better, but it barely does anything. But overall, I think the beta is fine. You know, it's fun enough. You know, it's Call of Duty. I feel like Call of Duty has kind of played virtually the same for a while. I've been playing Call of Duty games since the first Modern Warfare game when it comes to multiplayer, but I've been playing Call of Duty since Call of Duty 2 when it comes to like the actual franchise itself. It feels fine. Like, if it wasn't in Game Pass, I probably wouldn't buy it. Like, I have a Game Pass, so I'm going to be able to play it virtually for free, essentially. But if I didn't have a Game Pass, I probably would pass on it, because I've kind of grown out of Call of Duty. You know, I play a lot of variety of different video games. And then Call of Duty is kind of just one of the games that kind of just got left in the past. Like, I pick and choose which ones I want to play. Like, I didn't play NW3, but I did play NW2 and, you know, the other NW 2019. I didn't play Cold War or Vanguard, but I have played Advanced Warfare and, you know, Black Ops 1, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, Black Ops 4, and Black Ops 5. But Black Ops 5 is just Cold War. I think I played a little bit of Cold War's beta, but I didn't play the full game. But yeah, I just feel like it's okay. Like, I feel like if you play Call of Duty and you like Call of Duty, you're going to play this game. And that's just that. Hope you all enjoyed the video. I've been your boy, Nimbus Gamer Archer. Catch you guys on the next one. Hope you have a good rest of y'all day. Y'all stay safe. Y'all be kind to others. Free to be kind. I'll see you when I see you. I'm out of here. Deuces.